Welcome to House Money Podcast and our NFL Week 1 show. I'm Easy E and I'm the host. Joining me today, T-Bone.
T-Bone!
And Chalkboard.
Chalkboard.
What's up, fellas? How's it going? Hey, we got our preseason over-under episode in the books. Got a nice little turnout on the downloads here. Getting ready to roll into Week 1, checking out the lines. T-Bone, Chalkboard, talk to me, fellas.
Yeah, we were just going over it. Look what we gave you last week. Look at these over-unders. They're looking like gold. Are you kidding me? Look at the Dolphins tanking big time, dropping players left and right, trying to get to 2 wins to get Tua. Tank for Tua. And look on the other end. The Colts, no luck. If you would have locked in on that, look at them. 8 wins max this year. Killing it.
Yeah, due to events that have transpired the last week, the picks that I really, really liked, you have to love them now. What do you think, E?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's great that we crapped on the Colts on one day, and the very next day, luck must have hurt us because he come out and retired like 2 days later, and we're like, all right, dog, there you go.
I do think he sent me a text. I got to hit him back, so I'm sure he's probably down.
On another note, I just keep thinking about this pen. I'm staring at Eric's special pen. I'm just looking at this thing. It's not Wonder Boy from The Natural. You know what I'm saying? Like lightning didn't strike a freaking tree and he carved a pen out of it. It just looks like a normal pen to me. What's the deal here?
I feel like pretty early in the episode, we've already got a Robert Redford and a Daniel Day-Lewis mentioned, so...
Well, T-Bone, I'm rather fond of this pen. Thank you.
I see that. You search your whole house for the pen.
Well, hey... I know this is our Week 1 show, but I do want to wrap up our first season last year with some very awesome reviews. So please allow me to read you all some reviews that we got from last year's season. First, from R.J. Davila. Best podcast I've heard. The amount of thought that goes into this podcast is outstanding. My most favorite thing is the crystal ball predictions of the week.
Oh.
Hey.
We'll remember you on Mexican night, my friend. Hey, amigo, we got you.
Also, Chalkboard is hands down my favorite podcast personality yet.
Wow.
Probably
Nice.
due to the crystal ball.
Wow. There you go.
Thank you, my friend.
Can't wait to hear more. I'd love to be on the show sometime. Fantastic.
Nice.
We can put out a feeler and possibly make that happen.
Hey,
Open mic night.
Our second review, Greg Kuhn. This is the pinnacle of all podcasts. Chalkboard changed my life with his silky voice and his wise thoughts.
What in the hell? Wow.
I feel like people at home are going to say, "Are you just going in his diary?" Because that seems a little one-sided. There's got to be a lot of moan for the T-Bone out in like the internet world.
That's wow. That's silky voice, nice.
Well, T-Bone, let me give you this last one right here I got from a gift Eben, whatever that is.
Wow.
His quote is my favorite. I solicit for a bailout of poverty through your sure football games.
Wow. That was poetic.
Yeah. That's
I feel like that should get a bell itself.
Well, gift Eben,
Wow.
we hope to do a little bit better for you this year. And what we got coming up for 2019. Speaking of 2019, we're going to change up the format a little bit this year. We're going to we're not selling picks this year. It's easier if we just give them all away, to be honest with you. What we're looking at doing, we're going to cover the Thursday night game, we're going to cover the Sunday night game, and we're going to cover the Monday night game. So we're going to talk about those 3 games every week, and then we're also going to throw out the games that we like personally, or something else that catches our eye. So with that being said, for our Week 1 Thursday night game, we got Green Bay at Chicago. The line's currently Chicago -3. It opened at 46, -3.5. It looks like some monies came in on Green Bay, down to 3. Chalkboard, tell me about Green Bay at Chicago -3.
Right. I would like to actually prelude that with, normally you always start off the Thursday night with the Super Bowl champions. So this is a little out of the ordinary. And I believe it's because this is the 100th year of the NFL, and this is the oldest rivalry in the league.
Yes,
so just a little bit of chalk
Oh,
to break off for you.
Green Bay at Chicago is the oldest rivalry in the league.
Yeah, and this is the 100th season, and because obviously we should be starting in New England.
Well, it's a great matchup though. So Obviously, I don't have a problem with it. I think Green Bay's greatly improved. So, yeah.
Well,
Of course, Pittsburgh at New England's no joke of a matchup either, but we'll talk about that later.
yes, and I believe we said we are sitting at 3 right now.
Yes, Chicago -3.
Me personally, and this is going to come as no surprise, hence the moniker. I know we were really on the Bears last year, that not as much as some of the other teams. I feel like the Bears, well, I guess a lot of it kind of goes with how do you feel about the truth? Are you a Trubisky fan? Do you feel like he's got enough in the tank to do that? I mean, to lead these guys? I mean, actually, they got rid of Howard.
Right, but I think his replacement's his equal, if not better.
Correct.
Montgomery.
That's what I was going to lead into.
So, and they still got Cohen, who's the playmaker in the backfield.
Explosive. But you still got that defense.
But to me, it's all about the defense. For me, I mean, when Mike came to Chicago, he electrified that defense. They took it up another notch, and they ended up they had a great season because of him. Basically, I mean, not because of Trubisky, but because of him. To me, Trubisky's just a game manager. He's a Flacco. He's a
serviceable quarterback.
Yeah, he's a Tampa Bay quarterback whose name escapes me. They won a Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer. I mean, that's what he is. He's never going to be an Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to be a Brady. He's not going to be any of these guys. But he doesn't have to be. I mean, if the defense is that good and he's got playmakers, I like Chicago in this game. 3. I mean, that's
It's pretty much the home field advantage spread.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is I should just go ahead and hold on to this Trubisky for MVP ticket that I got.
Yeah.
So
Definitely don't see that happening. So.
Well, I think it's as much as what Green Bay. We said this last week even. It's basically Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams.
Yes. I mean, you got an aging tight end. You got a bunch of no-name receivers. You've got the running back's decent. I mean, Jones is good, but
what do you think Jones going against the Bears defense versus what the Bears have going against the Packers defense?
Right. That's
in
exactly,
Soldier Field.
Yes. I mean, now don't get me wrong. I think Green Bay is improved this year. I think they have a winning season, but Chicago at home, they'll be amped. First game of the season.
Yeah, that's why I kind of started. I think it'll just be the electricity of the first game, the 100-year. There's a lot of excitement in the air. I feel like the Bears will feed off that. I feel like the Bears will win this game and cover. I don't think it'll be like a blowout. I think it'll be a close game.
Right.
There's even a chance that Green Bay could be leading late in this game. But I think the Bears win.
Right.
At the worst, I think you're looking at like a push. But if you made me, I would probably go with the Bears.
Right.
Well, I know we talked about last week. T-Bone wanted to know if these teams are regressing, who's progressing, and Green Bay was one of the teams whose win total went significantly up this year. So somebody out there is putting money down on Green Bay to the point that they moved this line off the hook down to the 3, which is not that big a deal, but there's money coming in on Green Bay. I would think with all the preseason hype and everything, I would think this line would be bigger. Honestly, I feel like what's the percentage? Well, 56% on Green Bay, 44% on Chicago. I don't know. I think it's a tough play to me. As far as I'm concerned, I would lay off. This is not something I have circled as a game I would play this week.
Right. I'm not going to bet the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chalk.
Yeah, I don't like it enough to actually put our money where our mouth is. I think, it'll be an enjoyable game. It'll be a fun game to watch. There's some fantasy implications if you live in that world. But, I mean, it's not something I feel – there's better plays out there than this game.
Agree.
Yes.
T-Bone, you agree?
I agree.
Awesome. Well, if that's the case, then let's all move on to something we can put our money on. What about Sunday night, Pittsburgh at New England, New England -5.5. Just to let you know, this opened up at 51.5 and New England -6. So there's been a little bit of Pittsburgh money come in, but as far as the percentages are concerned, it's straight down the middle, almost at 51 and 49. So tell me, T-Bone, who do you like in this Pittsburgh at New England -5.5?
It's hard to get a grasp on this game. It's another game I don't know if I have a real feel on. New England's got so many things. I mean, they lost Gronk. They've lost some defenders on defense. They're trying to get Josh Gordon cranked up again. They cut Demaryius Thomas. They may bring him back. They got, what's his name, receiver?
Josh Gordon.
No, Edelman. They got Edelman. Trying to get Josh Gordon going. But I just don't know if their chemistry is going to be there in the first game. Pittsburgh, obviously, they lost Bell, but they rode with Connor last year, so he was pretty serviceable. They don't have Antonio Brown anymore. I don't have a feel for this game because I don't know how these teams are going to mesh the first game. I'd have to almost see a game out of each team to know what direction they're heading in.
I agree with you because I feel like there's the same number of question marks for New England. So how do you know who's going to show up? I mean, don't these teams got to play a couple of weeks before we know what's going on?
Yeah, well, this one especially because there are so many new faces. I mean, these other teams didn't change a lot. These two teams did, and so.
Do you subscribe to the theory of because they've been there so much? I mean, in the last decade, it's like is New England susceptible to like the Super Bowl hangover?
I mean, they could be, but it is opening. It's opening weekend. They are at home. Fans are going to be amped. If I was pressed against the wall, I would probably take Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh can make it close, but, who knows? We talk about all the time. Brady's been at this for 20 freaking years, man, and I just keep waiting for this damn drop-off that doesn't ever seem to want to come. So,
well,
I don't know.
I think I would be right there with you because I feel like the way the game is going to go, I feel like that the Patriots are notoriously slow starters, and I feel like Pittsburgh could come in. I think Pittsburgh could actually, I'm going to say, along your line, we're talking about 5.5. I think Pittsburgh's going to come in. I think going to lead this game, probably be leading at halftime. I think New England wins the game, but I think that the 5.5 would be enough. It just feels like one of those deals that New England's going to pull it out. There's going to be a kick or something along those lines. They're going to win by like 3-4, something like.
Hey, what's this pair of panties over the mic for? I just want to know what this is for.
We thought you brought her in here.
It's a pop filter, T-Bone.
Jesus.
A pop filter.
Good Lord. What does it filter out? It obviously doesn't filter me out.
It doesn't filter out the enthusiasm, but there's no reason for you to be licking it either.
Scratch and sniff.
Pop goes to T-Bone.
So we both like Pittsburgh, right?
I think we both like Pittsburgh with the points.
Yeah, if
but
we had to go that way.
Well, I agree. I would take the dog in this until these two teams show me something. I'm on Pittsburgh as well, but I don't think any of us are confident enough in either of these two teams to put our money or the House Money Podcast fans' money on either of these games, on either of these two teams. Y'all agree?
Right.
I think it's we all kind of agreed on the whole new format. It is good to go over like the national game. So obviously they're all going to have eyes on them. So
I agree.
Some more intently than others.
All right, well, let's move to Monday night then. 2 games this week on Monday night for us to cover. The first one is Houston at New Orleans. New Orleans -7. It opened at 53.5 and -7. So this line hasn't moved a lot. Personally, I think this is too many. I think that's a lot of points to be given up Houston. New Orleans is always a preseason darling team for whatever reason because everybody thinks they're such a high-powered offense. I think this is the year that Breeze comes back down to earth. Him and Brady cannot live forever. It's just not going to happen. Houston's supposed to be a decent team this year. 7 just feels like too many. Chalkboard, what do you have on Houston at New Orleans? New Orleans -7.
Well, I kind of like the Saints because it's just me. Now, help me out on this, T. Did Houston just sign the guy from Miami, like for the blind side for Watson?
Yes, Laramie Tunsil.
To keep him from getting like just picked up and thrown around like a rag doll?
Yes, because Watson took an enormous amount of hits last year, so they mortgaged their future to get this guy. And I love the pickup. Now, the problem is, obviously, he's only been in camp for a few days.
True.
So I don't know, is there going to be false start penalties? Is there going to be, how does he get acclimated?
Well,
that'd be my only question. He's an excellent prospect. He's 25 years old, and
I guess because of these two teams, what you would think we'd be talking about at first is the offense, but looking on the other side of the ball, isn't like New Orleans' defensive strength like up front. So it's this guy could come in handy right away. Maybe some edge rushers and things along that nature, but. All right, we had this conversation last week. New Orleans lost their home opener last year, right?
To Tampa Bay.
Right. So I feel like that's not going to happen twice. I feel like that they don't want to start off in that hole again. I feel like Houston can almost lose this game and still win the division with the Colts falling off. And I feel like that the Saints just want to start off on a positive note. They got robbed last year on that no-call penalty. They're going to start off at home. I don't know. It's crazy because it's a year ago, but I feel like they're not going to lose this game at home. It's 7. I feel like it could. I hate saying this, but I feel like it could be a push.
Okay, excellent points. I have to agree with E because I think Houston is a well-rounded team. They won 11 games last year. They've only improved in the offseason. And I agree about Breeze. He faded towards the end of the year. If you watched him, he wasn't the same. His arm strength is shot. It's going. They lost Ingram, the backup to Kamara.
You don't like Latavius Murray?
Yeah, he's okay. But, I mean, getting a touchdown, for a team that's probably going to win 11, 12 games again this year, man,
well,
I don't know. I'm like you. I see a push, but if you tell me it might be a push, I'll take 7 points. I'll take a touchdown.
I agree. I agree.
Lamar Miller's out. Who's their starter now?
They went and traded for
Carlos Hyde?
Yes, Carlos Hyde. And they've got Duke Johnson. So they've got 2 capable running backs. They've got wide receivers at the yin-yang. They just got Kenny Stills from Miami. They got Hopkins.
Will Fuller.
Yeah, they got Will Fuller. So they got speedy guys. They got big guys that can make plays. The tight end escapes me, but they've got playmakers. And Watson can kill you with his feet also. So, and I agree with you. I'm not saying New Orleans is going to lose this game by any chance, whatever, but you give me a touchdown and a team as good as Houston, I'll take that.
I know they don't do this in the pros, but I feel like if this was a neutral site game, this is at most a field goal.
Yeah.
If not less. These teams are very comparable, in my opinion. I don't know why it's 7. I just don't know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The Saints got screwed out going to the Super Bowl. I get that. But, again, Breeze stumbled down the stretch last year. They lost like 2 of their last 4 games of the season or something like that, and he did not look that good. He's not the same anymore. And, I don't know.
And he's a year older.
Yeah.
He's a year older.
He's a year older.
Or a year wiser.
Gosh.
He's been wise since he was young, but he's now like 39, 40. I don't know, one of the two. And, man, it's crazy.
Well, it sounds like House Money Podcast team is on both sides of this game, so no play here. No play here.
Yep.
All right. So for our 4th game that we're going to cover this week, as far as our night games are concerned, the final game for our Week 1 NFL, Denver at Oakland. This line's all over the place. It opened chalkboard at Oakland -2.5. Unfortunately, all the money's come in on Denver. So right now you can get Oakland +1. That is a 3.5-point line move for those of you that keeping score at home. Denver at Oakland, Oakland +1, last game Monday night. Go ahead, chalkboard.
I mean, normally you don't see a line move that much in a tsunami. I mean, that's like insane. Earthquake was probably easier, but I decided to go the other way with it because we're out on the coast. But anyway, yes. Everything.
Did you say we're out on the coast?
In Oakland.
The coast of
Wherever. Ohio.
Not in studio.
Oh, God damn.
This is for my man RJ. And you know what I'm talking about.
I know we're in the ACC, but damn, we're not really in Atlantic.
RJ's at home
game
right
is
now. Tell him,
played.
Chalk. Tell him.
Played in California, which is on the coast. Anyway, I digress.
There you go.
Oh, the game's on the coast.
Yes.
I got it.
It's like looking around. I don't feel beachy.
You would think in the second season the explanations wouldn't be as frequent. But anywho, yes, there's every reason to think that Denver's going to win this game. However, being the Oakland champion that I am, perhaps this I should almost like remove myself from this because it's going to be such a homer pick. You all know what's going to happen here. Antonio Brown continues to be a clown. They're trying. He was complaining because they fined him, so he was going off about that. Just more like in-house arguing. I guess I'm hoping that Oakland is the lesser of 2 evils of clearly the 2 worst teams in the division in the AFC West. And if they have any shot of getting to, what was the over-under, 5 or 6, they have to win this game. Opening game at home against the other worst team in the division. You know what I mean? This is almost sort of a, you can't say a must-win in NFL Week 1, but this is kind of that for them for what they're shooting for this year.
T-Bone, are you going to back up that Oakland pick?
Oh, man. I'm sitting here. When I first sat down, I loved Oakland. I really did. And then I started looking at stuff. I mean, Denver's defense, I'm looking at, they went out and got Flacco, which Flacco sucks, don't get me wrong, but he's an upgrade over what they had. But crazily enough, I'm picking the upset. I'm going with the Raiders at home in their swan song season, is it not?
Yes. I mean,
Swan song season in
They should be
Oakland.
playing in Vegas next year.
Yeah. I mean, the crowd's going to be amped. They've got playmakers. They've got better players this year. Last year was abominable, but they've got a rookie running back. We'll see what he's got. We got Antonio Brown. I hope to God the chemistry's there. I know they've been working together even though he's had these issues. And
rookie running back, fresh,
I'm
strong
going to go
leg.
for the shocker surprise here. I'm going to go with the Raiders.
The question is, T-Bone, would you put your money on the Raiders?
No.
Good answer.
No. I don't feel that good.
So you just feel like it's just throwing money into a black hole is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically. I have more picks. I feel more confident in.
You
Let's just say
get
that.
a point. So to quote Al, just win, baby. All you have to do is win the game.
Oh, that's true. Al's dead.
And that ain't easy for the Raiders. All right. Chalkboard, I hate to tell you this, but I think we got to move on. We're not coming to a consensus on this pick.
The decision is undecided, clearly.
There you go. All right. Well, that's our fourth night game for week one. Let's talk about some games we do like. T-Bone, what do you see out there on the schedule that is something you will put your money on this weekend?
Now, how many games? I like 3 games. How many do you want?
Let's talk about one first, and then maybe we'll go around the room and see if somebody else can't bring up something else. Give me something you really like.
I like the Rams at Carolina giving less than a field goal. I mean, the Rams loaded up, ready to go. They were in the Super Bowl last year. Carolina's got Cam Newton banged up. I don't know what his condition is going to be for this first game. I mean, he got hurt in the preseason. I don't know. Olsen's always banged up. They got a slew of new talent they got to break in at receiver. I like the Rams. Take it to them on the road.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I feel like that the Rams are just a more complete team. I mean, do we still know for sure exactly, is Cam supposed to be like 80%? I mean, he seems like, for as young as he is, I mean, he's not super young, but it seems like he just continually keeps getting nicked up. I don't know if it's just the style that he plays and he takes such big hits.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, he's a big statue, and
Right.
he runs. So he get hit in the pocket, and he runs, and, yeah, he takes all kinds of abuse.
I mean,
and,
after McCaffrey, what else are you talking about there? I mean, Olsen, I guess, is healthy for
DJ
right now.
Moore, I don't know.
Yeah. And I just feel like the Rams, now, of course, we talked about the Rams, talking about like injuries. I mean, Gurley is always up in the air,
Right.
arthritic knee. But
they got 3 stud receivers, Goff. I mean, yeah.
But to your point, just since y'all are all over the Rams or whatever, I like Carolina in this game, so this isn't going to be a consensus. First off, the money is going down. Like, all the money is coming in on Carolina. This moved off a field goal down to 2.5. It takes a lot of money to move off those 3s, 7s, 10s. This is off the field goal down to 2.5. You have the Super Bowl hangover team that's going to come all the way across country. Who the running back, arthritic knee, you don't know what you're going to get out of him. Carolina, Cam Newton. When did he get hurt in the preseason? Was it the last game?
I think it was week 3.
Yeah.
It was when like the starters actually play. And I still don't know if I ever saw the hit. I don't know if he just got bit weird or exactly what happened, but I couldn't even tell you what the ailment is. Most things just keep saying that he is probable for week 1.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is it because I didn't see anything about him questionable or injury status? Or
I would say 99% sure he's going to play, start, and play the entire game.
Yeah, I just read where he said he's ready to roll. So just because he's ready doesn't mean much. When Aaron Donald crushes that pocket and starts putting him on his ass,
Right.
and the Rams start going up and down the field on him.
Well, and I feel like, when you're coming in week 1, you should be fresh.
Carolina
Everything should be
sucks.
going.
Last year, I couldn't. I was on Carolina. You hated Carolina, and now all of a sudden
It's a different offense. They're getting away from Olsen, like you said earlier. They're getting away from Olsen. They brought in
sucks.
They brought in smaller, quicker wide receivers so they can get open for Newton.
Who
because
did they bring in? DJ Moore's a horse. He's a big old dude. Who else they got?
no, the other dude.
Who's the
Help
other
me
guy?
out, chalkboard.
Samuels. It's Samuels. They suck. I'm sorry. Their offense is putrid. It sucks. Now, unless they do some New England defensive game plan on the Rams, I do not see them outscoring them. I just don't see it. Yeah, I will take that all day long. I will give less than a field goal to these jackasses and roll with it.
Well, you're sitting in basically the over-under is 50. So, I mean, they're not really calling for like a big offensive explosion. So
that's okay. And now I do get what you're saying about the cross-country thing. That has merit.
It's a real thing.
It is a real thing.
66% on the Rams.
I give you that. But now it's the first game of the season, so you tell me they're not going to get there sooner and acclimate more? You can't do that during the regular season, but you can the first game because you haven't played a game the week before. You're not all beat up. You're fresh. You're ready to go. First game of the season.
Well,
Smackdown.
Back to my point. It's first week. You should be fresh. Cam is going to play, but he's not. He's nicked up a little bit for week one. And to reiterate, did you say they are going from coast to coast, like out where the tsunamis happen?
All I know is this: Cam Newton is
full circle.
Cam Newton is overrated. That's all I'm saying. I don't see it. But that's just me.
Sounds like we're not going to have a consensus pick on that one either.
Doesn't have to be. This is T-Bone's pick.
I think if they win the game, you should eat like a whole package of Fig Newtons.
You take the Rams. You ride the Ram.
All right. Not a consensus pick. Chalkboard, you tell me. Give me something out there you like for week one.
Well, I don't want you to like freak out, think it's like a Jack in the Box, because this is going to surprise you.
Is it a dog?
No, this is total sarcasm.
There we go. Let me find the biggest favorite on the board.
No.
Can we get the Eagles? Yeah.
Not in that regard. But this year's darling, the Cleveland Browns.
Ooh, God. Oh.
Now, at first, I thought this game was in Tennessee, but it's in Cleveland. Because I would have been kind of not so whatever on the 5.5 on the road, but 5.5 at home. I feel like Cleveland can win this game by a touchdown.
Why is the number so low? Everybody and your brother says Cleveland is going to be a powerhouse team this year, and you're coming under a touchdown.
Tennessee is the epitome of the hang-around kind of team.
Yes,
Tennessee doesn't generally get blown out.
They're a playoff
hard-nosed team.
They're a playoff team. They went to the playoffs last year. They are a good team. They're not a shit team. They're not some 2-3 win team. They're
not a sexy team.
No, they're not. They're a playoff team though.
They're a hang-around, grinded-out kind of team.
Right, exactly.
But if Cleveland wants to aspire to everything people talk about, they need to win this game, and they probably need to win it by more than 3. So I'm cool. I'm good with the 7 is my theory.
Well, it's 5.5, so neither 3 nor 7 comes into play. But you like the Browns.
I like the Browns, and the 7 would come into play because it's minus 5.5, right?
So you were saying they'll win by a touchdown. Is what
Yes.
your feeling is. I got you.
T-Bone, what do you got on the Browns? What do you think?
I have no feeling on that game. I really don't because I think Cleveland's going to be good, but I kind of have to see it. I got to see it. They got the talent. I got at least
It
see it
is
with my
the coach's
eyes.
debut. Is it Freddie Kitchens'
Yes.
first? Yeah, so
It's his
that is
first
one thing.
game. I mean, it's Mayfield.
A lot of pressure.
Mayfield played great last year. I want to see if he progresses. They do have the weapons.
Not so great in the preseason, though.
Yeah.
Did like 10 of 23 in one game.
Yeah. I mean, OBJ, how's that going to fit in? He was dinged up a little bit. So how's he going to come out that first game?
I feel like, you can't really say it because they've never played together, but on paper, Jarvis Landry and Beckham Jr., that's a heck of a,
Well, they played in college together. That's the wild thing.
Right.
They played LSU together. So, yeah, they're best friends. We'll see. I'm excited for the team. I'm excited to see what they put together. I think we all 3 bought in on them this year. So, but I want to see it with my eyes. Like I said, Tennessee, I hate Tennessee. They get on my nerves, but they do hang around. So, who knows?
Well, I would be on Tennessee here as well at the 5.5. I just feel like that number's too low. I mean, trust me, I'm a Cleveland fan this year. I'm all about them. I just don't understand why that number's so y'all. Y'all like Tennessee more than I do. They can't score.
No, I don't like Tennessee. It's just they like you said, they just hang around. But now Mariota sucks, so, but somehow I don't know.
I like the Browns.
Yeah, he does like the Browns. I just don't have a feel for it. I'm not saying don't bet the Browns. I just don't have a feel for it.
So let's move on.
Let's find something we can agree on.
Let's find something we can agree on, like this next game, which I know we won't. So let me throw this out there. Kansas City Chiefs at the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the fact that I bring it up, you know where I'm going.
God bless.
And
Here we go.
since y'all are already shitting on my Jacksonville plus the 3.5 pick.
Oh yeah, look, he didn't even say who he was going to pick.
I didn't have to because
yeah.
I know where y'all are at. This ain't my first year.
I'm not saying I disagree with you. I don't. But go ahead.
Okay, so Jacksonville's defense looks phenomenal.
Yes, and Josh Allen. Oh my God, he's a beast.
Stud.
Jesus, my God, have you seen him in the preseason? He's a one-man wrecking crew.
Unstoppable.
Shout out to my fans in Kentucky. I appreciate you guys.
What was that preseason? Was it Miami where he was just destroying everything in his path? Oh, it was ungodly. Yeah, it was horrible. I mean, Miami sucks, but still, he looked awesome. Yeah.
Well, with that said, their offense is better.
It is. It is. I agree with you. Foles is a major upgrade over what they had.
And Westbrook at wide receiver.
Yeah. And what's the other receiver? They got another one is it Marquise Lee? I mean, Marquise. I can't remember who the other.
Well, I think the big thing more so than that is just the availability of Leonard Fournette, because he was banged up. And I mean, I think the way that it's going to go, where Easy's going with this is they have to control the clock, hold the ball, keep it away from Mahomes and them, and that's going to be a lot of him.
Yeah, well, and the defensive pressure he's going to be facing. I mean, my God, that front for Jacksonville's they're beast. I mean, my God, I mean, it was just watching that kid play the other night. I was like, oh my God, he's everywhere. So. That defense, which was stout last year, got that much better. I mean, it's unbelievable.
The rich got richer.
Yeah, seriously.
So obviously I'm on Jacksonville plus the 3.5. Let me ask you this question: if you got to take one team to win outright, Carolina or Jacksonville, one of those two teams are going to win outright. Which one does it?
Well, statistically, more people would probably take Carolina, I would probably be on that. I feel like there's a better chance that the Chiefs win than the Rams.
Speaking of statistically, the percentages are 74% at Kansas City, 26% on Jacksonville.
We're looking at the same statistics.
And you're taking Jacksonville. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong.
One out of every four people do.
I mean, and again, we haven't seen Jacksonville. I agree with you. I mean, their quarterback is much improved. That's what killed them. I mean, my God, their quarterback play was horrendous. I mean, Bortles was pathetic.
Does Shady play this week? I don't think he starts, but I mean, they'll probably get him. He'll get in like what?
Who's this now?
Shady McCoy.
McCoy?
For who?
For the Chiefs.
Did he just get traded? I must have missed that.
Yeah, the Chiefs picked him up.
It was like the end of last week, I think.
Good Lord, I'm really losing my mind. I didn't see that.
He ain't gonna play. It don't even matter.
No, he's what 31 now. He's at the end of the road. He's one of these guys that can get you 500 yards.
Who is the guy? Damian Williams.
That's the running back in Kansas.
This guy was talking to me because he was freaking out, saying that like they were talking about by week 4, Shady will be the starter, and I was like, I don't see that. Because he's going back to the Andy Reid days and Philly and all that.
No.
I think they'll have packages for him. I think he'll be along the lines of like a slower Tariq Cohen type deal.
Yeah, because they just got rid of Williams' backup, traded him. So they needed somebody as a backup. I mean, hell, they didn't even have a backup.
So clearly, since you didn't know about it, it doesn't really affect your decision at all.
No.
Well, we're not going to agree on this game anyway. There's no way I'm going to bring y'all both over to Jacksonville so we could put our House Money podcast on.
Right. I'm not saying it's.
I like the flow of the show so far with 5 indecisions.
Yeah.
Well, so let's find a game we can agree on.
How about this? Let me throw one out
Convince
here.
us, T.
Buffalo at the Jets. The Jets giving up 3.
Man, you went straight sexy. Buffalo at the Jets.
Yeah, I love the Jets. The Jets have infused a lot of talent in their organization. They've got a new coach. Buffalo's got freaking quarterback. Was it Josh Allen, the quarterback?
Oh, yeah.
Guy can't hit 50% of his passes. They don't have any talent on offense. They're boring as shit. I just think the Jets got Le'Veon Bell. I think Darnold's going to take another step up in his progression. They got some playmakers on defense. Yeah, I really like the Jets.
The Jets made a lot of moves in the offseason, and they are poised to do something in 2019. So tell me why the money's coming in on Buffalo. Tell me why it opened at 3.5 and went down. Because I agree with everything you said. The Jets are supposed to be better.
Yeah.
Why is the money coming in on Buffalo? Chalkboard, help me out.
Yeah, somebody.
No, that's a good question because as I'm looking at everything that T's covering, I also agree with everything. This could actually be our first consensus pick. I don't know why the money's coming in on Buffalo. I don't know why money would ever come in on Buffalo. maybe for like, hey, I love my Bills fans. Shout out to you guys. I love how you tailgate.
All two of them.
Have you ever seen the Bills tailgating stuff on YouTube where like they catch tables on fire and throw each other through it? They say it's the craziest tailgating
Jesus Christ.
stadium in the league.
Yeah,
you owe it to yourself to look it up when you get home.
Yeah.
But with that said,
There's nothing else to do in Buffalo.
that's kind of because when they show it, there's like 3 feet of snow everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, they're losing by 17.
Yeah,
Guys are slamming each other through tables.
Jim Kelly ain't walking through that door.
It's a good time. Well,
Yeah.
no Marv Albert. So I mean,
Right.
I would definitely be on the Jets on this. I don't know why it's coming in that way. E. I wish I could give you a better reason. I feel like we're sort of getting buffaloed by that.
Oh, God. Okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to stick this on this piece of paper that the Jets might be a play since you two are so high on it. I don't love it, but since we ain't really clocked in anything else yet, well, let's put the Jets up there.
Lay that to the side.
We'll just lay that to the side.
Did you write that in your special pen or pencil?
It
seems sketchy.
Wonder Boy.
Chalkboard, give me a winner.
It's carved on the side of the pen.
No smart-ass comments, Chalkboard. Just give me a winner.
Let's take a look here. We've already gone we're 7 games into it, so I thought we'd have at least one by now.
I got another one. I'm ready to fire on another
If you
one.
got one ready, go ahead and shoot.
Go ahead.
Tampa Bay versus San Francisco, a pick'em game at Tampa Bay. I like Tampa Bay.
Same kind of story. San Francisco coming across.
Yeah, coming across Tampa Bay's offense it's pretty legit. I mean, my God, they've got Evans, they got Godwin, they've got O.J. Howard. Winston was not horrible last year. He just had to keep shuttling back and forth with freaking Fitzpatrick.
Right.
But
Kind of
if you
tough to
put
get in a
his-
groove that way.
Yeah, if you put his stats out there over a prorated season, he would have came up with some pretty decent stats. And San Francisco's getting Garoppolo back. I mean, they got Pettis. I mean, what do they got? I mean,
Dante Pettis.
yeah, they sucked last year. I know Tampa Bay sucked too, but Tampa Bay can put points on the board. They are at home.
They got Matt Breida. They got Kittle. George Kittle.
Kittle.
He's probably is Kittle as good as they make him out to be? Or,
Tevin Coleman. They got Tevin Coleman now, who was a
like
tease.
you say, nothing that really wows you.
Yeah, Tevin Coleman. Oh, he's a 500-yard rusher. I mean, come on.
This is clearly season 2 because so far we're leaning toward the Jets and the Bucks. What have you done with Chalkboard and T-Bone?
Yeah, we're not riding the Ram this year.
Although I can see the cannons going off on the ship. I could be down with this.
Yeah, I like Tampa Bay.
I can get more with Tampa Bay. I definitely like Tampa Bay more than I do the Jets. You're asking anytime, West Coast to East Coast, and then you're going to go to Florida, and it's going to be 95 degrees.
It's
It's going to be hot as hell.
Hot.
Yeah. And this game, you can't think it means anything to the 49ers, right? Do they give a crap about this game at all?
Yeah,
They're supposed to be better, but like you say, they still got a ways to go. I'm not discounting the Heat deal because we all watched a lot of college this past weekend. There were guys cramping up left and right.
Yeah, in like the second quarter in some of those games.
I mean, not even down in town Central Florida, but I mean, still, I think that.
Okay.
He's talked us into it.
I'm prepared to make this the first House Money podcast play of the 2019 season. Tampa Bay, T-Bone, you in?
I'm all in.
Chalkboard, you in?
Just so I can say I'm all in on the Bucks.
Yeah, somebody's got to announce the winner.
I know. I just stole the thunder there.
What do you mean announce the winner?
Yeah,
So
our
our first official House Money podcast play of the season, T-Bone?
The Bucks.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I didn't like that name.
Put your dollar on the Bucks. Is that what we're saying?
It's going to be our first official game at a pick.
Bucks on the Bucks. Put your
All right.
on the Bucks.
Chalkboard, you got anything queued up yet?
Well, I know you guys were mocking me, so I'll just go for it. What do we think about the Redskins at Philly?
I haven't thought about that all day.
Is it the biggest line out there? Well, just because you guys like to mock the name, mock the man. So I was like,
I just wonder
I'm perusing around looking for double digits.
I
9.5 is all I can get.
9.5. It just seems like a hell of a spread to me. I mean, is Washington that bad? I mean,
Who knows? There's people that live in Washington that don't know.
it's true. I mean, what the quarterback situation? So is that who's the quarterback? It's
Hold
not
on,
Colt McCoy now.
No, it's Casey Keenum in it.
No, Case Keenum's in is it? Shit,
I'm pretty sure it is.
Maybe it is. God damn, that sumbitch was in Denver last year, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Good Lord.
Who are you looking
How
for?
sad
Washington's
is this?
quarterback.
I'm pretty sure the starter is Casey Keenum.
Wow. Okay.
Him and his entire top 40 may not be able to cover the spread.
I think Philadelphia is a dark horse pick to go back to the Super Bowl this year. So,
Well, we talked about that, and it was because of the schedule. And I feel like the weak schedule, you want to win this division game, and these teams hate each other. It's like they want to come out and they just want to rub their nose in it. You know what I mean?
right. So, who do we have? A banged up Alshon Jeffrey who's hurt all the damn time. You got Deshaun Jackson with a broken finger.
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith. Oh, Lord. No, he had that broken leg. Did he ever come back? I thought that bastard retired. How sad is that?
He might be dead.
My
too.
God, he might be dead. We don't know. He's probably on the couch. He's probably listening to us right now, cussing us.
To the family of Alex Smith, if he is alive.
Yeah.
Alex, we apologize for your premature death.
Jesus.
Shout out to our fans in D.C.
I'd say his football life is over. I mean, my God, they had no Colt McCoy. They had no Alex Smith. I mean, it might be Case Keenum.
I don't
Good
even care.
Lord.
I'm not even
They
looking up.
suck.
Who cares?
We'll just have to, yeah. I mean,
Chalkboard, you're
I'm not worried about when Washington. You're throwing me off here. I think Philadelphia has enough because we can't even name the starting quarterback of the other team in the NFL.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Is that enough to put our money on, though, just because we can't name him?
I mean, I feel more comfortable with like a touchdown when you're starting to talk about putting up double digits on somebody. I mean,
I can tell you Colt McCoy is out. I can tell you Jordan Reed is questionable.
Wow, that's a shock.
Yes.
That's a son of a
Stop
bitch.
if you've heard that.
Plays 3 games a year and still gets millions of dollars. Jesus.
Chalkboard, I don't think this is going to work out for you. I'll be honest.
It was more of trying to convince you of what Washington doesn't have.
I mean, no. If I had to bet it, somebody put a gun in my head, I probably would take Philadelphia because, I can't name anybody on Washington. They are just probably going to be horrific. They're probably going to battle Miami for like the #1 pick this year. I mean, I don't know.
Who cares? That's a terrible game. Nobody tuned in to hear our Washington at Philadelphia.
He said moving on.
Moving on. Let's talk about this game. This game, to me, sounds way too obvious. The Indianapolis Colts at the Chargers.
Oh, that was my next
Chargers
game.
minus 6.5.
Oh, love the Chargers. Yeah, it looks too good.
It looks too good. Honestly,
too good.
I like this game before Luck decided to retire.
Ooh, really?
It was at 3. It was at 3 before Luck started to retire.
Well, yeah.
We talked about this last week when we talked about our over-under show. The Chargers have to win all their games at home.
Yes.
They have to. Their schedule is impossible. Now, my problem with this is it almost looks too obvious.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the line has moved for a reason because all the money's coming in, but hasn't moved enough. What do you think, T-Bone?
I mean, I would still give 6.5 with no problem at all.
3.5 is a pretty significant move.
It is, but I mean, when you lose Luck, you're going to a quarterback that didn't get many reps at all last year, and he just was named the starter. And what kind of chemistry's he got? Rivers has been working with these guys. The only problem I have with the Chargers, they've had some losses too. They won't have Gordon, but statistically, when they had Eckler, I think it's his name. I don't know if I'm butchering it or not. Their offense was just as prolific with that guy as it was with Gordon. That's why they're not signing Gordon, because it's like we can still put up points without you. I mean, they have a healthy Keenan Allen. They got Williams, the other stud receiver. They got a stud tight end. They got a nasty defense with Bosa. And, they got some play. Now, they did lose that stud safety, I believe, for the year, Derwin James. But, I don't care if it looks too good or not. I'm taking it. I mean, I will give a touchdown or less.
And that's it right there. The fact that it hasn't hit 7 yet, at 6.5, I'm on it. Yeah. I'm on it. So if you lose, you lose. You know what? It just seems.
No, I would agree with that. The only thing I could possibly argue, if you're trying to find a deep silver lining for the Colts, is, what are you going to get out of Jacoby?
Fuck the Colts. I hate the Colts.
No, like Jacoby, it's like, I know there's film on him. He's played a little bit, journeyman guy. I guess he was in New England there for a while. Now he's there, but it's like,
I wish nothing.
You have to
for the
prepare
Colts.
totally different for him because he's more of a scrambler where your boy doesn't run, where Luck didn't run, but it's not going to be enough. He's not going to be able to do it.
So are we in a consensus? Is this a consensus pick for the House Money Podcast team?
Yes, I'd say so.
All right, chalkboard for our official House Money Podcast play number 2 of the season.
The Chargers.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Los
The
Angeles.
boats. You should have said the boats.
Well,
It's okay.
I was conflicted.
It's okay. Oh, we got to get this thing quick. We're running out of time.
We're running out of time. So we got Tampa Bay is our first official pick of the season. The Los Angeles Tampa Bay at a pick is our first official pick of the season. The Los Angeles Chargers -6.5 against the Colts will be our number 2 play. Fellas, can we squeeze out one more? Is there anything else out on the board that are we leaving any meat on the bone?
Are you even going to – you might have to go back and check out that Jets deal because there's nothing else left. There's Atlanta at Minnesota -4, but
Stay away.
I stay away from that one. Do you feel like the Dolphins are bad enough to, can Baltimore beat them by 7?
yes.
Yes, but how?
I mean, Lamar Jackson, he's so erratic. I just don't know. I know their defense will hold Miami down. I just don't know how he's going to – is he going to come out and run all over them? Maybe. Is he going to throw some
Is he going to cramp in
interceptions?
South Florida?
Yeah. No, he's from Florida, so, yeah.
The percentages are at 68 for Baltimore, 32 for Miami. That big a swing, you know what? I'm going to take the home dog, hold my nose, and hope for the best. But honestly, I'm not putting a penny on that game.
Yeah. That spreads
I would be
too
more on the
much.
Jets than this game.
Well,
Yeah.
I loved it when it was 4. Now it's climbed all the way to 7. But we have no offensive line to protect our quarterback.
We should allow ourselves, because the fans enjoy this. We did represent the redheaded stepchild last year. I have another suggestion, since this is the sheets we'll be going off all the time, where we allow ourselves to go back and take the opening spread, and we will call it the DeLorean pick.
I don't think that will fly.
Michael J. Fox did not just walk in that door.
We are all living in the present. I don't think a bookie's going to go for that.
Hey, this line was 7 on Monday. I know it's 3.5 today, but can I get this?
This is time and date stamp, my friend.
sorry,
You should honor
I'm sorry I forgot to give you a call. It's like,
The DeLorean pick.
Jesus. God almighty.
Fine. Moving on.
Okay.
That'd be an awesome new addition.
I don't think I can talk y'all into this, but any love for the Arizona Cardinals at 2.5?
I was just looking at it.
It opened at a pick, so money's coming in on Detroit. But Arizona.
Rookie quarterback, you're not really sure. You know what he did in college. I think it's going to be a legitimate rebirth of David Johnson. Anybody?
No, the problem is the quarterback may be a better runner than the running back.
Yeah.
And the line is awful, so just take off.
But you don't know which way they're going to run. Yeah. Murray going to run to the left. He's going to run to the right.
Oh, well then. That'll solve all their problems.
Yeah, I don't know, but they both stink. I don't know. I
right.
haven't even looked at that
All
game.
right. Okay, I'll tell you what. Since we're running late on time here, I'll go back and I'll concede the Jets. I'll give y'all the Jets -3.
There you go.
Are y'all into that?
Let's land that pick.
There you go.
Oh, my God. All right. Chalkboard, our official House Money Podcast play number 3.
The Jets.
The Jets. There you go, fellas. So the New York Jets -3 versus Buffalo.
I do like to point out to our listeners we went from the DeLorean to the Jets, so I just want to
I like
champion my calls at chalkboard.
I like to point out to my listeners, take $10 and parlay the money line with Carolina and Jacksonville, and that should pay about $150, and go out on a steak dinner on Easy E Monday night. So, fellas, I think that comes to the end of the show here. Anything else on the board y'all want to mention? Anything else out there look good? Did we hit all our highlights?
Well, if we're talking about highlights, I'll use that segue to give Week 1. Crystal ball, pick of the week, Cristobal ball, if you shall.
The what ball?
Crystal ball.
Wow.
Was that a Spanish foreign language?
I believe it's Spanish for Christopher, but we'll have
It was
Dallas
a shout out
look
to
at
his
that.
friend that gave him the.
Thank you, RJ.
RJ.
We will invite him to Mexican night. We are having a Mexican night in a few weeks. Tequila shots. Fucking, we're gonna be drinking. We got margaritas. Yeah,
We have to figure out what week do they play in Mexico. Whatever week.
That's Mexican.
I feel like you guys
Is
are
it
really
week
taking
5?
this too far over in what direction.
What week they play in Mexico? Is that week 5? That's going to be tequila night.
Yes, that's the Ode to Mexico.
There we
Ode to
go.
Mexico.
There we go. Week 5. You got something to look forward to.
The people are leaning in because they're waiting for the crystal ball pick.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Doc.
In his first game in the NFL, Young rookie running back Josh Jacobs will score a touchdown.
Ooh, all right.
So a Josh Jacobs touchdown. Crystal ball pick of the week.
JJTD.
I'm gonna
Por
write-
favor.
God damn it, you made me mess my shit up.
So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, you want to know how you can track all of our House Money podcast picks this year. We're utilizing a service called the Action App Network. The Action App is phenomenal. It allows you to track whomever you like. There's all kinds of different handicappers on there, obviously, but House Money podcast is going to be on there this year. We're going to post all of our picks on there. We're also going to tweet out our picks probably 10, 15 minutes before the first game kicks off on Sunday afternoon. Speaking of tweeting out, please follow us on our social media pages. The show is at House Money Pod. So the show is at House Money Pod on Twitter. I'm the host. I'm at EAZY _House Money. Chalkboard, where can your 750 followers find you?
Chalkboard can be located at Chalkboard, CHALKBORED _HM.
Look at you. And I know T-Bone doesn't know his by heart, so will you give them T-Bone's Twitter?
Yes, thank you. I can't find my own, so I don't expect to have anybody else find it either.
Something about a dog finding a T-bone or something, but
I'm pretty sure it's at T-Bone _HMP.
yes, it's at TBONE T-Bone _HMP.
See how easy that is? But
It
I can't
is.
remember that.
There you go.
With that said, is there no Sizzler?
No sizzle this week. I'm waiting. I'm going to jump in the
Warming
pool
up the
next
grill week one, huh?
Yeah, warming up the grill. Getting
All
it
right.
ready.
All right, fellas. Well, I like the sound of that. I like the sound of this show. I think we got 3 solid picks out there for week 1. If y'all don't have anything else, it looks like that's going to be us for the week. Chalkboard?
I'm good. I think it was a great season 2, week 1 show. Good job, guys.
T-Bone?
I'm excited. I'm ready to get the season started. Can't wait for tomorrow night.
I am as well. And this podcast will be available tomorrow morning. Please subscribe to our podcast on wherever you listen to podcasts, whether it be SoundCloud, iTunes, wherever. I'm very pleased with our preseason episodes, number of downloads, doing a great job. Thank you out there to the fans. And, fellas, last chance. Nope.
Nope, I'm good.
All right. House Money Podcast, we're out.